Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about economics and crypto and lots of other fun stuff. Before we dive on into this, do me a favor, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification button, leave a comment in the comment section, all for the algorithm. But without further ado, let's dive on in today's video. I want to talk about Bitcoin, obviously, and ask the question, is it time? It seems like it's time. This is the time that it would be time. October, what do we call it? Really, the verdict's out because we still have a few days left in the month and we are moving in the right direction. I know it did not start off as a good month, but it can certainly end as a good month, just like September did not start off as a good month, but it ended as a good month. We have a lot of things going on over the next couple of weeks with the unemployment report this Friday, November 1st. That's going to be a big one. The election coming next week, and then the Federal Reserve FOMC meeting coming probably while we're still counting votes for the election. So lots of crazy stuff happening. We have altcoins. I looked at the altcoin charts this morning during my live stream, and let me tell you something, the altcoins looked terrible. If it wasn't for this, what I would call a pretty significant possibility that Bitcoin is going to cross its all-time high, and that is imminent meaning a week, 2 weeks, whatever, maybe even just this week. If it wasn't for that, I would say abandon ship on all altcoins. And I want to be clear about that. Looking at the altcoin charts, I was shocked because, I took Friday off. I went camping with my family Thursday and Friday, and Saturday we went home, chilled out the rest of the day. I try not to look at charts on Sundays. I looked at the charts on Monday, and I could not believe how terrible the altcoins looked. So the altcoins, they dumped pretty hard on some fake Tether news that came on Saturday, I believe. It was either Friday or Saturday, and they haven't recovered. And a lot of them just look like they have broken upward structure. They've put in lower lows. A lot of them, some of them are still looking very bullish, but a lot of them have broken bullish structure. So now what do we do? Well, Bitcoin's the name of the game, and Bitcoin is looking very bullish right now. And so I posted a chart on my X talking about Bitcoin's dominance. We are very close to 60% Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin is going up. A lot of altcoins are really struggling. And at some point, that dominance is going to roll over, and we're going to see an aggressive move up in Bitcoin dominance as we see an aggressive move up in Bitcoin, most likely. And then that's going to roll over into altcoins, and then we'll have some kind of either full-blown alt season or an alt moment. But for right now, the name of the game is Bitcoin. I am bullish on Bitcoin for this week. I said that in my live stream, my Monday morning live stream. I am bullish for Bitcoin this week. Even though Bitcoin is going up, stochastic looks like it has fully reset. And so we're ready for another leg up in stochastic and in the Bitcoin price. I would expect to see Bitcoin over $70,000. That's not, given the fact that Bitcoin has already gotten to $69,800, that's not a bold call for me. But then we have to weather the storm. Now it does look like Trump's going to win. You never know. There's always surprises that could come. 2016, it certainly looked like Hillary was going to win and Trump won. 2020, to me personally, it looked like Biden was going to win and Biden won. No comment on anything else in regards to that. I know what you're thinking. Let's move on. All right, this time around, it looks like Trump's going to win. Kamala could win. Kamala, whatever. She could win. And if that happens, I would say that there's some short-term bearishness followed by bullishness. If Trump wins, I would expect the things to get pretty exciting over the remainder of the year, maybe even leading into early next year. So Bitcoin, the name of the game, Bitcoin up. I don't really see much of a reason to be bearish short-term on Bitcoin right now. Assuming a Trump win, assuming an unemployment report, given the fact that this unemployment report is happening before the election, I would expect to see a positive unemployment report, and that the digging deeper down into the numbers would kind of be ignored in terms of seasonal jobs, in terms of part-time jobs. I would expect the FOMC, that there's no surprises, that the Federal Reserve is just going to cut rates by 25 basis points, but a thing that I'm very curious about is to see if they put an end to quantitative tightening. And if they do put an end to quantitative tightening, they're tightening to the tune of $25 billion a month, then watch out. I would say that that is short-term incredibly bullish. And so this thing, it could be any day now that we would see a new all-time high for Bitcoin. But so we got to be mindful. It's going to take some time still, because I remember in 2020 when we broke through the all-time high for Bitcoin, December of 2020, it still took a little bit of time for excitement to enter the markets. I remember Bitcoin got up to $30,000 and people really didn't care all that much. And so we need something extraordinary. I know I've given you guys my target of $80,000 for Bitcoin for 2024, and that it would not exceed that in 2025. If I'm wrong, so be it. I hope I'm wrong. You know, what if we saw that Bitcoin get to that magic number of $100,000 and then we started seeing a huge rollover into altcoins? I think that's very possible. And so whatever the case, I am not a seller at all of my altcoins. And I know some of you have asked me about Celestia because I was holding it as a play for the unlocks coming on October 30th. I'm holding on to my Celestia even. Some of the other ones, you know, Sui, I sold my Sui the week that Sui peaked 2 weeks ago. I sold all of it. And, you know, the way that it's looking right now, I may be tempted to reload on Sui. You know, it looks like it's in pretty consistent downward movement from its peak right now. And the lower it goes, the more interested I'm going to be in buying it. And so personally, for me, Bitcoin is still going to be the winner short term, but this could be over in terms of Bitcoin's nonstop moves up in Bitcoin dominance. This could be over in a few weeks. And then after that, it's fireworks. It's what I think is going to be a really exciting time where Bitcoin's dominance peaks in the lower 60 percentile range. And then we see Bitcoin, you know, you've heard me say on this channel several times, Bitcoin taking the elevator down in terms of its dominance, not its price, but its dominance, meaning that altcoins would outperform it. That's all on the table. Anything is possible. I think there's going to be a lot of volatility the week of the election and the FOMC meeting, especially if it takes a decent amount of time to count the votes. But we will see. As far as now is concerned, I'm a bull. You know, I am a bull. And I'm a bull on Bitcoin more than altcoins, but I will be much more of a bull on altcoins. I wouldn't be surprised if by the middle of November. So what else? You know, BlackRock is blowing me away right now. And, you know, maybe we're making a deal with the devil. But BlackRock is buying insane amounts of Bitcoin. Forget about the other spot Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock is buying on a daily basis something like 10 times the amount of Bitcoin that is being mined on average for the last 2 weeks. So 450 Bitcoin mined per day post-halving. Before the halving, it was 900 Bitcoin. Right now, it's 450 Bitcoin. BlackRock is buying on average. This is all off the top of my head. My calculations could be just off the head calculations, could be a little bit wrong, a little bit off, but I believe it's something like 10 times the amount of Bitcoin being mined per day. That's BlackRock alone. I have a very hard time believing that BlackRock is buying the peak. You know, that $69,800 or whatever we get to over this week will have been the peak. I have a very hard time believing that they know what's coming. They know that Bitcoin is due for a significant move up. And maybe, you know, I hold $80,000 loosely. Maybe that it's going to be well beyond that. And then that they're positioning themselves to do very well and for their holders of their ETF to do very well. So anyway, there's lots and lots of things to be excited about. There's this last leg up in Bitcoin dominance. That's an exciting time. What should come next is a significant move in altcoins and in meme coins. And no doubt, I need to be careful here, in a certain meme coin that will not be named right now, that, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, I think that there's lots of potential short-term, and it's an exciting time, but that is all I have for today. Hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.